take a break for lunch, and then have some public comment from the public that's attending about this process, and then kind of wind things up this afternoon. So gives you an idea what's happening. I apologize for the half-hour delay we're going to have, but we're going to listen to our attorneys and go into executive session. If all would rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ms. Steinley, if you would call the roll, please.
Mr. McNair?
Here.
Chairman Hastings?
Here.
Ms. Chappelle? Here. Mr. Frost? Here.
Okay, we're all here. I don't see Mr. Lambert, although I understand he's in the building, right? And Mr. Ordini is in the building, but not here. There are attorneys, and they have asked us to go into executive session for purposes of discuss matters involving litigation. And so, with that representation to this public, I will move to go into executive session for that purpose. If there's a second.
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Chappelle, and there'll be a roll call vote on that motion.
Mr. Frost?
Yes.
Mr. McNair?
Yes.
Chairman Hastings?
Yes.
Ms. Chappelle? Yes.
We're going to go upstairs to our normal board meeting room so you all can sit here and relax for the next half hour. We'll be back. I want to stay on task today, on time. I know a lot of people have planned that accordingly. So we should be back here approximately around 10, between 10 and 10:10. Thank you.
It's presently 9:38. How are you?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, have you heard anything else from Have you?
Plant, it sits on ballot box. I was just because because of limitations what we could all bring as far as getting here. But yeah, it's just plastic ballot box that sits up on top of it. So yeah, of course you wouldn't see the ballot jettison through the back of it.
And what's going to show on the screen?
Pretty much probably that. You know, it's you can put anything. We can put Cuyahoga. We can put the emblem for Cuyahoga on here, whatever they want.
No, I'm talking about vote versus 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, like for this, if there's any, this would typically, you know, as far as what the voter sees, right when they come up to the machine.
Or anybody who's standing behind the machine.
It would, oh, I see what you're saying. If there's any issue, like with the voter,
Ballot secrecy.
right. The good news is, if there's any issue to the voter, let's say you just voted, and here's an undervote. I can do an under or over. So even if I'm the poll worker and I come up and the voter is a little confused now, not sure, the good news is I'm not looking at their ballot, resolving their issue. I'm saying, hey, you know what? It looks like you have a race you undervoted. You know, you can either accept it as is, or if you want to correct it, you can go ahead and hit return.
Can you change the wording on that?
Yes. That is all purely whatever the county wants it to say.
Yeah, because a lot of voters, I don't think, would understand one. I'm not putting down the voter, but one contest has too few votes. That's a lot to compute. Undervote.
Yes, we can put, yes,
do you want to fix it,
yes,
or do you want to keep it that way?
You can absolutely put it like that. However they want it to read, and you know that's another nice thing that with the 12-inch screen that we have. You know, this is the next generation. You know, this was used in the Ward 6 election.
Right.
This is the M100, where we only have 3 lines. LCD.
Hard to see,
yeah,
actually.
So that's why we went to a 12-inch screen. Be able to increase the font, and if they undervote,
it's driving me nuts.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay.
So if they undervote or overvoted multiple races, this has the ability to list every race that there was an issue with as well.
Let me ask you something else. Can these scanners read a lightly tinted paper stock?
Well, we recommend, we really need this paper stock, you know, especially when we're talking about the absentee system, because these would work in conjunction with each other.
Right.
So we just need this opaque, because obviously if we get kind of a dirty paper, and if any of that dirt, you know, so-called dirt that gets in an oval
No,
position.
I'm talking about a very light blue paper.
Yeah, I think we can probably do a different color. I'd have to have Jerry Amick, our project manager, would probably be the best guy to ask on that. But
okay. I think that there might be a need to separate different kinds of ballots, obviously.
Oh, like Republican, Democrat, just like that
Or
way?
provisional,
Oh,
regular.
sure.
But it can read.
Yes. Yes.
You could, I don't
A
know.
lot of time what we do, we stripe those. So we'll just put a colored stripe to, like red or
No, it
blue
has to
across
be
the
more
top.
obvious.
Okay.
Tell me your name again. We met.
Craig Cyber.
Of course.
I'm the sales.
Of course.
guy
I have one of your
Ohio.
cards,
Yep.
but yeah.
And then
Great.
this is the Automark, and so this is our ADA
Okay.
piece. Have you seen this on the voter?
100% digital.
Voter receiver ballot.
So these are the same ballots.
Nice thing about this machine, with this setup, all voters get the exact same ballot. Oh, didn't recognize it. So I'm going to spit it back down. Make sure I got the right ballot. That guy's wrong. So it's scanning, so what it's doing is just determining what ballot style this is to bring up for the voter. Because every ballot style in the county can be on these machines.
And that's the VIBS unit. That's the.
Automark, yes.
That's
the ADA
that's the audio unit.
Yes,
Okay.
audio, so they could have headphones plugged in. Now, if you and I were using it, let's say we just had an issue with seeing the font of the ballot, a little too tough, we can use this machine to just actually touch our way through the ballot. Impossible to overvote. You can touch anywhere on the line, so if someone has a palsy or something, they don't have to get directly on it.
You can make the lines bigger.
Yes, yeah. There's a contrast feature where you can flip it, so if they have color blindness or macular degeneration, that really helps draw it out. We can also increase the font, which I'll show you here. If they're under voter race, it will inform the voter this is a vote for two. We only voted for one.
Okay.
Okay. If we want to zoom, we can just go ahead and increase the font by hitting the zoom button.
Wow.
Takes up to about 30-point type.
Okay.
There again.
Okay.
If right in, just where you and I would just do a touch.
Right.
The disabled voter would be, if they were blind, they'd have the headphones on and be walking through, and it would be walking them through N, selected M, and then O, P, Q, R, S, T, and then.
Wow. That part's really hard. That part's really hard. There's no way to speak it.
Well, what it does is when they're done, it will say you have selected write-in, MINT, mint, selected.
Okay.
Okay. So they would just go ahead and navigate through.
Okay. Okay.
And then at the end of the ballot, and here again, it's you can use either interface. And now, obviously, if we did have a blind individual here, we'd have the screen off. Okay, so nobody could be looking over their shoulder to see how they're navigating through the ballot.
Okay.
Okay. Other nice features.
How do they write in?
They would go down to the right end when it would say.
But the screen
here.
is off.
Let's go back. Turn the screen on. Go back. Let's see. This would be context.
I'm going to lay my stuff down
All right.
right here. Okay.
Might help if I put it in the right access port, huh?
Don't worry.
Kind of hear it. Let me, that's good.
Okay, left arrow key and right
to
arrow
back
key. How are
and
they
right
going to be,
forward.
if they're blind, how do they know where the left arrow key and right arrow key?
Well, for one, there's Braille under each one.
Okay.
Okay, right down. The keys are raised a little bit, and now the select key's in the middle, the square, and the Braille is on the screen, or on that button.
Okay.
We got a lot of help from the American Federation of the Blind on this unit as far as setup. So, and
Do
the
you
nice thing is,
propose that somebody is with this person?
No, they might need a little assistance initially, just when they get to the unit, just say, hey, the keypad's on your right,
Here it is, here's the braille, here's the,
before they
okay,
insert the ballot.
Okay.
But once they do that, then of course we'd step away and let them vote.
Right.
And we'd
how
have the screen.
about, and the board can do its own recording?
Yes, if they want, we can use a human voice. We recommend the synthesize because we have a tempo feature here to speed up or slow, just as you and I read at different rates, they
Okay.
hear at different rates.
Okay,
If you use a human voice, it becomes very choppy.
okay,
So the synthesize, and this voice is called JAWS. If they have a computer at home, this is the voice that speaks to them.
got it.
Okay.
And what about the issue found in the Everest report about if the ballot has some sort of mark on it, it could be installing unauthorized software. It could actually put malware into the system.
This no on a.
Did you read the Everest report?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
But I mean, as far as the ballot itself is completely by itself. It's its own entity. I mean, it doesn't do, all this is doing, and remember, this isn't holding any votes or cast. All it's doing, you can think of as an
marking
electronic
a ballot.
Yep. So there's no votes anywhere on here. Let's get to the end. There's a review page at the end. You know, they'd be walking through. We're listing right now. It's a best automobile manufacturer. Vote for one. Honda selected.
And how do they know when the ballot comes out?
Okay. At the end of it, let's say you want to mark your ballot now. Hit the select key, or we can hit on screen.
Okay.
And it's saying your ballot is now being marked. Please wait.
Okay.
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 And it says this will take approximately 30 seconds.
Okay.
And it talks to them while it's doing it.
Okay.
Okay.
Doesn't play music. I'm joking
No.
you. Pick your genre. Punk?
Yeah, exactly.
Jazz? So how long would it take for a 2-page ballot?
Well, obviously a 2-page ballot would be a little more because they'd have to do one at a time. So they would insert one, they'd spit it out, they'd insert the second one,
Okay.
and then walk them through.
And so this is doing no tabulating. So while we're waiting, this is a long time
About
actually
30 seconds. There it is.
for
Spits it out.
for 3 races.
Well, it marks both sides.
Okay. For
And what it
5
does,
races.
well, and the time wouldn't really change because what it's doing, it's also drying the ink. So what it's doing is putting the ink on paper. There's our write-in. You even see that it wrote mint over the top.
Okay.
Okay. Marks both sides.
Okay.
Dries the ink, and now this would come over and be inserted into our tabulator
Okay.
to be counted. So
Okay.
the good news is, 88 ballot, the same as the ballot you were on vote on.
So the board would have to figure out who takes that ballot over to the tabulator.
Typically what occurs is, you see
Where's-
this Velcro here? We can attach a secrecy sleeve to that, Adele, so it can spit out directly into a sleeve.
A disposable secrecy?
It's not really disposable, it's cardboard. I mean, that can just sit there, so when the ballot spits out,
A replaceable
it's covered. Yes, it's replaceable. Yeah. So that
So
would,
that if
would
one
spit out
person
these sleeves.
is wheeling over to there, then another one's available for the next
Yeah,
voter.
absolutely.
Okay, now regarding this,
Okay.
you're not in my way.
I'm from the clean dealer, that's what I'm taking a picture. Can I get your names, please?
Sure. I'm
Or
Craig.
do you want me to wait till you're finished?
No, you're good. I'm,
Oh, it's back door.
Okay, now this is our DS200. Now this ballot is set up, this is a 14-inch, so this is set up, Adele to go on this machine.
70-pound off.
So now it's physically scanning it, reading it, counting it, drop it into the ballot box.
okay,
Okay?
got that one.
My name's Craig, C-R-A-I-G. Cyber, S is in Sam, E-I, B is in boy, E-R-T.
You'll be back.
And you represent,
Election Systems and Software, ES&S is, but it's Election Systems and Software.
Basically what it does.
from,
We're out of Omaha, Nebraska. Our headquarters.
you're owned by Warren Buffett?
Yes.
Are you really?
Everyone knows Warren Buffett in Omaha.
I wondered if you owned your company.
No.
Okay. Okay, and you're?
Adele, A-D-E-L-E,
These basically, the other number.
Eisner, E-I-S-N-E-R.
Ballot stuff.
Where are you from, Jim?
I am a member of CASE Ohio, Citizens Alliance for Secure Elections, a member of
One of the
an
bars.
organization called Black Box Voting. I am on the Secretary of State's Advisory Council for the Voting Rights Institute. I've been described as an ardent, I'm passionate about secure elections, so I really represent, I'm here for the citizens. I'm an election observer. Election integrity observer.
Okay.
An
Election integrity.
and activist.
Okay. What city do you live in?
Cleveland Heights.
And then if you have any.
Okay. And what you're looking at now, is this, you were talking about how a hearing impaired person or a blind person would vote.
Take mine.
Is that machine dedicated to that, or does that machine do everything? You know, everybody can vote.
Anybody can use it, but
Okay.
it's specifically set up where, you know, you or I, on our side, we would just take the ballot, use a pen,
Yeah.
pencil, fill in the oval. But yeah, it's set up. Anybody can use it, but it's specifically kind of to meet the ADA need of HAVA, Help
The
America
80
Vote Act.
So it meets the 80,
ADA, American Disabilities Act.
right, standards, I would say,
Of
right?
HAVA, yeah, Help America Vote Act.
H,
AVA,
America Vote Act.
Help America Vote Act.
Okay.
A retail price is 50.
And what's the machine called? Like I in the caption I would say, you know, you're looking at the name of the machine.
What's it called? It's
Yeah.
called the Automark. ES&S
Automark.
Automark.
Yeah,
Is there a space there?
no.
Okay.
That's one
One
word,
word,
capitalized mark though. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's interesting that you guys hold the intellectual property for that, and I see that Diebold Premier is also using the same machine.
We bought the company. We purchased the company and all the intellectual property that goes along with it. Prior to that, they signed an agreement with Automark before we purchased them to build, I don't know what the, around 5,000, I'm not sure what the build was, but that was done shortly before we bought the company, so we were still obligated to honor that contract, or they were obligated.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. I'm
bet.
sorry to interrupt.
Thanks. What's your name?
Chris.
Hi, Chris. Nice to see you.
Yeah, you too. Thanks.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Chris.
thanks a lot. Okay.
So now, one of my concerns about this is, what about a 2 or 3 page ballot, which is, I mean, that's
That's going to be
Yes.
reality.
that's destined for Cuyahoga County.
You know.
And so one of my main concerns is I've watched
So you sit in there all day.
the Diebold
So.
optical scanners. I mean,
Right.
it's an optical scanner. Let's just say,
Right.
I'm not comparing
Digital,
quality.
right. I'm
I'm not comparing quality. But only count 1 page at a time.
That's what this does.
So is there any way for this machine to know, to group pages into ballots? To say, I've got 1 ballot, now I've got 2 ballots.
To show you that you voted? No. If it's like a multi-page ballot?
Yeah.
No.
Not here.
Well, you know what, I'm gonna talk more towards.
Here's
people than-
Jerry in a suit. Hi, Jerry.
Right now, we set the counter normally to increment the counter based on the page ones. Because most people always return page ones. They don't always return the page twos.
In absentee ballots.
But when we do count them, it does count both pages. We just don't increment the counter on the unit.
I don't understand.
Okay, you know how we get our reports and it shows ballots cast?
Yes.
It says show total ballots cast, and we usually use the page ones, but it also shows the number of page ones we've got and the number of page twos we received back.
So if
But
one
the-
would only look at the number of page ones that were returned, for the most part, it would be a reasonable guesstimation that that's the number of ballots that were
Yeah,
cast.
that's kind of the theory, yes. And because you can't, I mean, as you know, most people always want to vote candidates, and usually page twos are
No,
usually
I
issued, but
understand
yeah,
the
right,
reasoning for
right.
that.
Yep.
And then,
But we will have a count of all pages.
okay, but will it say which page it is?
It'll say number of pages. But
No, but it won't
we
say
can't-
how many
We couldn't
page
match up a
twos.
page one, page two. If you,
Why not? If they're listed as, if they're coded as page 1 or page 2.
well, we know that, but like if you guys both put in your ballots, page ones, page twos, we would not know that page two went to your ballot and page two went to his ballot. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't think she's asking that. You just want a tally of total for each
Total
page.
totals? Yes, we're gonna have,
Yeah.
we'll have
And that-
totals.
And that we can do.
Yep.
Okay, so let me get this clear.
Okay.
So on the night before certification, when they're looking at the report,
Yep.
and they're looking at at pages cast,
Yes.
they will have a reasonable way to go back to that report and say, this is ballots cast.
Right.
Not pages
Right.
counted.
We'll have a ballots cast, right? Yes. There'll be a ballots cast.
And then tell me this, when they go to make remakes, it's now a 3-page ballot. Some cities are going to have probably
Oh yeah,
3
I'm
pages.
hearing Columbus may have a 4-page.
Okay, so when they go back to that, when they're doing remakes, do you think it's reasonable if they're looking for a total ballot tabulation that they don't just grab the page that needs to be remade, that they take a whole ballot?
No, they'll grab the page that has to be remade.
Then they're going to have a bunch of orphan ballots left in their blank ballots.
Why?
I have a 3-page ballot, and the second page of Bedford 1A got messed up,
Yep.
okay? So now if I just go back and get page 2 of Bedford
Remake it and
in that package that came from the printer, now in that shrink wrap package, I have 2 orphan pages in that package. There's no way to then, do you understand what?
Oh, you're talking about when I have leftover ballots, be able to...
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, you still can do that because we'll have a count of the remakes. It's going to say we remake, and we serialize. We don't serialize them. We go 1, 2, 3, 4.